In most governments, the government is staffed by two kinds of employees. One kind of employee is generally chosen on the basis of merit, and they're promoted on the basis of merit, and they can't be fired unless they're performing poorly. The other class of personnel are people that are chosen at will. They can be hired and fired for whatever reason the political official decides. So political appointee is that second type, and career civil servants are the first type. The United States has about 4,000 political appointees. Most developed countries have at most a couple hundred. And so the concern over a long period of time has been, is our system of managing large organizations a bad one for performance? So imagine a company like Apple or Walmart. If every 4 years their top 4,000 executives turned over, we would have concerns about how that might affect performance. And that's true in the US as well. The theoretical research addresses two questions. Why would there be lots of political appointees? And then what are the effects of there being lots of political appointees? And on the first question, why are there lots of political appointees? It's because it helps politicians. It helps politicians get control of administrative agencies that make important policy decisions. And it also gives them opportunities to appoint supporters into jobs and reward them in some way for the work that they've done. The research also shows on the back end that the effect of these appointments is that it does actually give them more control over these administrative agencies, but unfortunately also affects performance, that it hurts the performance of these agencies in the long run. The existing evidence would suggest that elected officials are likely to continue to prefer more political appointees than is probably best for performance, and that agencies that have lots of political appointees are probably going to continue to perform poorly unless we cut some number of them. So it probably makes sense in some cases to think seriously about reducing the number of political appointees. This question and this reform is sensitive, and it's sensitive for both parties. From the current president's perspective, what you're asking that person to do if they agree to this reform is limit their own power, limit their own flexibility to choose people to put into the executive branch. The next president, whoever that person will be, might also be sensitive because they feel like it's hamstringing their ability to exert their influence over the departments and agencies of government. I would say that the bottom line of this reform is that the US could easily do with many fewer political appointees. That if we cut the number of political appointees, we'd likely improve performance, improve responsiveness, with very little cost to elected officials in terms of their ability to control outcomes.